Welcome to Bavaria.
After a 2-hour drive from Austria, we are now here in the Munich region. We're actually here at our first stop, which is the Dachau concentration camp. So this is actually a pretty historic and very sad place, actually. It is actually one of the longest running concentration camps. It was opened in 1933 and ran into the 40s. There was over 32,000 documented deaths here as well, not to mention thousands of undocumented ones. I think one thing that stood out to me is like they even had a shooting range where they would execute people. For instance, there was over 4,000 Soviets that were executed here. It's interesting that this was opened so early because initially it was used just for political prisoners, but over time it changed to Jewish people and then prisoners of war. So yeah, it has a very, very sad history, but I think it's a good place to visit and just, kind of understand some of the stuff that has happened in the past as well as, maybe even in the future, because across the world, there's a lot of very right-leaning, far right-leaning movements that are happening right now. In Germany as well, there's been a rise of far right. In the US, Italy, it's kind of happening everywhere. So hopefully we have learned the lessons of the past and we don't repeat ourselves. So we took a look at one reconstructed barrack over there, but you can see just lines and lines of where others would have been. Just thousands and thousands of people all at once. So we just finished up at the concentration camp and we're headed over to the Nymphenburg Palace. It was worth checking out, I think. If you've seen other concentration camps, it's very similar though. I think it's always sad to see these places because there's always signs about never again or we don't want to do this type of thing again, but I feel like inherently the world just keeps replicating these sorts of things over and over again. You see all sorts of genocidal behavior around the world, even today. And the conflicts around the world still continue to happen, right? Like Israel and Gaza conflict is happening right now. We'll see where that goes. But this is a good reminder to, just let people be, not invite conflict in that sense. Just arrived at the Nymphenburg Palace. This was a place that was constructed back in 1675, and it was used as a main summer residence for all of the Bavarian leaders. It's a really cool place, actually. It's huge. I don't know how it just keeps going, all the way around, right?
Yeah, it's huge. I don't know how long it'd take us to walk this.
Yeah, I don't know. And I assume there's massive gardens probably all around. So we can see some gardens over here in the front where there's a lot of geese. I think there's some in the back as well I saw online. But it's a really beautiful place, actually. Online, they just show kind of this front entrance part. But yeah, let's go for a walk, I guess. So the real question here is this real gold? Or is this copper like it was yesterday?
Well, this looks more like real gold, to be honest, than yesterday's golden roof.
Based off of our analysis of Germany being the richest country in Europe, it seems like it might be real gold. Just off to the back of the palace is this beautiful garden that goes all the way down there. This place actually seems like a really good place to just, hang out, almost like a park or something like that. So rather than waste any more time just wandering about the city aimlessly, we decided to come to the BMW Museum.
Well, it's also because it was raining.
So, tell us, Vivek, why are you excited to be here?
Well, one, as a fellow BMW owner, I'm excited to see what's here.
Fellow with who? I don't know.
Hey, there's people in the audience who might have it. I don't know. I'm trying to connect with them, But it's gonna show the history of how they formed as a company, and I think the headquarters is in Munich, so just has that relevance.
I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I just knew this was here. I don't know anything about what's inside, so let's go find out. So we're currently inside of the Welt, which is where all the new BMW cars to be showcased. This is the color-changing prototype car. They were saying it's something like e-ink, right?
Yeah, some sort of that technology. I think they had it initially where it was just white and black changing, and now they have different colors for their next generation EVs.
That's awesome. So pretty soon we'll all be driving e-ink cars. Just finished up at the museum, so what did you think, Vivek?
I thought it was cool, but obviously it's a lot of marketing for BMW. Got us to pay 10 euros to go see a bunch of models and get a history lesson.
And ads.
Ads,
yeah. I guess it's history in a way, but they're just showing you a bunch of ads through history.
Yeah. But given that it's not that expensive of an entry cost, I think it's cool to see.
Yeah. we were in there, and I think Vivek's main motivation was to go see new cars, and I think that was mission failed. Because the only stuff that was in there was old motorcycles and old cars. Personally, I found it a little bit interesting just to see like how technology has progressed over the years, and it's good to see BMW is finally doing the switch to electric by 2030. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, overall, I didn't even know they made like airplane engines or things like that. I haven't checked into our hotel. We are now bundled up and on the move again. We both have our hats on and jackets on. It has gotten definitely pretty cold here in the city, but we are headed over to the English Garden, the largest park right here in Munich, and then after that we're going to loop back into Marienplatz. That's where most of the places to see are here in the city center of Munich. After that we're going to go check out a beer garden, and Vivek's going to finally drink a drink in front of me.
I didn't know that. I never did in front of you.
What was the last drink you had? One in Seattle or something?
Yeah, I went to a beer garden in Seattle, or like not a garden, but like some sort of like German themed bar.
Yeah.
And yes, I had this thing called Radler, which is like less alcohol, because I don't like the taste of alcohol.
Yeah.
That was more bearable than a regular beer for me. So
yeah.
I'd be curious to see how it is here.
Yeah, I mean, objectively speaking, alcohol doesn't taste good. I don't really drink that much either, but you know, when you're here in Munich.
Well, objectively speaking to you.
Okay, sure. Objectively speaking to me and to you as well.
Yeah, to me as
well.
Yeah.
But when you're here in Munich, you just gotta try it out. So let's see if they have the like lightest beer possible.
Yeah.
Maybe even something that is a little sweet. So right here in the English Garden, there's this area with a very large current that's running through the park. What I didn't know until today is that Munich is a surfing city, because there's a bunch of people jumping in wetsuits and surfboards and surfing on this current right here. And Vivek right here has volunteered to teach us a surfing lesson, and we'll be jumping in as well with his 1/4 of surfing classes from UCSD. How do you do it?
You get on the board and you don't stand up, you lie on your stomach and ride the wave.
I guess if you're passionate about surfing, you got to make it work somehow. And this is the only way you can do it in landlocked areas of Germany.
Yeah.
But that was super cool, and it's very skillful that they're able to do that right now. Just in the middle of the night, it's freezing cold and they're still out here. So we're now standing in the Marienplatz area. This area is actually really nice. There's a lot of shops to walk around. The entire roads are all closed off. Lots of nice restaurants and cool things to see around here. And the buildings, as you can see, are really cool. I think we'll have to be back in the morning to try and get some other looks at this. And maybe there might be a lot more activity as well, because this is like the main public square here in Munich. What do you think, Vivek?
It looks really nice. It's a big building.
So we're starting another day here in Munich. Today we are headed back to the Marienplatz in the morning, and we're going to go to a beer garden after that, before picking up a car to drive on the Autobahn and head down to the castles. It is a cold day today, as you can see. I'm gloved up, hat, jacket. It's like 30 degrees outside, and we have Vivek here with
Got this as the outer layer, and then another jacket.
and another one. You're like those like Russian dolls, just layer after layer.
There you go.
3 layers of clothing. Now that we're here in the morning, there's a completely different vibe to Marienplatz. We can see all of this building in its glory, all that Gothic architecture, and there's people out and about. I'm sure all these little stalls are opening up as well, with like selling fruits, and Vivek got his souvenirs, his magnets for his auntie, so he's happy now.
Yep.
So let's just continue to walk around a little bit, see if there's any cool spots to like get some pictures or something like that. So right past Marienplatz, we've come across this really nice outdoor market. There's all sorts of fruit stands, fresh juices. There's even a place that had just like 20 different types of olives, which I'm sure Shipra would be very jealous of right now. But yeah, it's really cool. I think we need a lot more of these sort of outdoor markets in America. We have the farmers markets, but I don't know, they're not exactly the same vibe as something like this. So after a relaxing morning in Marienplatz, we've actually driven out here to Motorworld Munich. This is actually a pretty cool area where there's a lot of different stores of, you know, various luxury car brands, as well as a lot of supercars on display that are interesting to see. My favorite was the Bugatti. Definitely a big fan of the Bugatti since I was a kid. And we are here to pick up a BMW M4. This is a car that Vivek really wanted to drive on the Autobahn. I don't really know if the Autobahn will be quite what it's hyped up to be in the west, but we'll see. I'm not sure if there's really a lot of traffic or not, but still, I guess it's an interesting car. Not a big fan of gas cars, but I like the paint job on this. All right, Vivek, how excited are you?
I'm super excited. I don't know about Shivam here, but I don't really care. This is the one thing I wasn't going to compromise.
So we're headed down to the castle. Hopefully we should get there in about an hour 50. Someone who's scared of fast speeds and roller coasters. I'll just have to close my eyes during this one. Oh my gosh. We're going insanely fast. That was what? That was like 220?
No, we went like 120 miles per hour.
Oh no, I mean kilometers.
Oh yeah,
kilometers.
definitely.
Oh my gosh.
Damn. And that was like casual mode. These roads are really beautiful. Like these are the Bavarian roads, and BMW being a Bavarian manufacturer, they pride themselves in like the handling of these roads and like, you know, being able to smoothly curve and really enjoy the car and its response while you're driving these roads. So yeah, it's a lot of fun.
How does this compare to other driving experiences you've had?
I think it's pretty up there. I had another driving experience where I drove a Lamborghini in Vegas on the racetrack, and I think that's also like really top there because like I went 150, basically how fast we went here on a track. So like and I even spun out there because it's just so powerful. But yeah.
Did you ever think you'd drive 155 on a regular road?
No, but I had a dream to like always do it once in Autobahn, and we did it. We achieved that.
So after a very picturesque drive, or scary drive, with Vivek in the driver's seat at 155 miles an hour, we are now here at the Neuschwanstein Castle, which is the first place we're going to be checking out in this area. You can see it all the way up there in the mountains. We'll get a closer look as we move up. It's going to be a 45-minute walk. So this place was actually created in the 1800s by the Bavarian monarchs, and it was created as a place to escape the hustle and bustle, I guess, of Munich. You saw the residence yesterday, and that residence was where, you know, the monarchs initially were staying, but they created this one right in the foothills of the Alps to get, you know, basically get away from the city. 30 minutes of uphill walk, and we're finally at the castle. Vivek had to stop a couple times and take a dump.
Right, what are you talking about? This is blasphemy.
Okay, it was the horses. There's horse-drawn carriages all the way to the top. But we used our good old-fashioned manpower.
Yeah.
Because Vivek has used all the horsepower he needs today. Also, if you come to this castle and think you're in Disneyland, you might not be wrong, because it's the inspiration for Sleeping Beauty's castle as well. So we've reached the most famous spot here, Marienplatz, which is definitely a healthy dose of Instagram versus reality.
Yeah.
You know, on Instagram you see the castle, which is right there. It's obviously beautiful, but there's also just a ton of people on this bridge. But regardless, it's amazing. It has this awesome view of the castle, and then right down there is a really cool view of a waterfall coming down as well. I know Vivek loves waterfalls, so what do you think of this place?
It's cool. It's not that big of a waterfall.
Castle is interesting. I thought it would be bigger, I guess, but
It's cool. I think it's a nice view from here, and it's cool that the royal kings have lived here. It's a getaway place.
Yeah, I think it's worth seeing though. I think this is definitely worth seeing. One thing I am a little bit freaked out though about is that this bridge is very rickety. It keeps moving as people move. So hopefully it stays up and we survive. So one more castle on the way down is the Hohenschwangau Castle. I have no idea how to pronounce that. It's just another castle here built for no purpose other than to be in the countryside, I guess, for the Bavarian kings. And it's right on the water where we're about to go, which is Lake Alpsee. So we made it to Lake Alpsee, and actually instead of just looking at the lake, we ended up finding this paddle boat. So this was actually quite a good steal. It was only 15 euros for 30 minutes, which is, like I was just telling Vivek, cheaper than Shoreline in Mountain View. So this is cool. And the water is just extremely clear. And there's really nice cliff features as well. This is such a peaceful place. And there's hardly anyone on this lake at all.
Yeah, you see like 3 other boats.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's kind of nice. It's really calm.
Yeah, no life vests.
Yeah.
So you got to be able to swim.
You can swim, right, Shiv?
Yeah, I definitely can, but I don't think my electronics can swim.
Yeah.